Sanibonani lapho Mzansi. So this is my first post, and I just have been thinking about this since the 20th of March. As you know, it was the shutdown, the national shutdown. And what I think about the national shutdown, I think it worked. The EFF won the idea in the people's minds and hearts because there was electricity for the whole weekend, right? So even if some people say, yeah, well, it's because there were a lot of people on the streets and therefore not a lot of electricity was being used, that doesn't make sense. You can't tell me that majority of the country was in the streets, therefore all of a sudden there's electricity. Nah, even if that is the case, does that mean we mustn't go to work? We must take to the streets in order for us to have electricity? But that's just one. Number two, I think what the EFF did, nah, you know, the ANC, a lot of us agree that the ANC is not the political party that it was for our grandparents and our parents' generation. And they vote for it because it means a lot to them. It's their ANC is their liberators, right? But now for us, I mean, I'm only 33 years old. I've got young daughters, they're going to have kids. So we have to look at what type of future do we want for our children? Because in the future, our children are going to ask us, Mama, Baba, when we were experiencing load shedding, what were you guys doing? Oh, you guys, you went to work. It was just a normal day. Like nothing happened. You didn't change anything. And then we are going to leave the burden of changing the country to them when we should be changing the country now. So the 20th of March, that shut down. All opposition parties were meant to go and join the EFF. Just because it was announced by the EFF doesn't mean other opposition parties couldn't participate. I mean, the ANC took this country by force. And there's always this idea that you don't negotiate with terrorists. Well, the National Party negotiated with the ANC government, with the ANC. The ANC terrorized South Africans. They blew up infrastructure. They tortured people. They did a lot of bad things in order for them to be able to stay and sit in the position of power that they are in now. So this notion that no, well, the EFF are terrorists and you don't negotiate with terrorists, but then the very same people are going to complain that no, well, these most of these South Africans are stupid. They keep voting for the ANC over and over again. Our country is in ruins because we're being led by stupid people who are voted in by stupid people. You had an opportunity on the 20th of March. DA, Freedom Front Plus, everyone should have come together and shut the country down to force the ANC out, but they didn't. So you can't complain when the ANC wins again in 2024 or after that, because you had an opportunity to remove them and you didn't. And this thing of, when it's Ramaphosa, it seems like he's being treated very special. When it was President Zuma, there were banners in Cape Town, there was that big poster saying Zuma must go. There were large protests on the street, but now it's Ramaphosa. There's this march, even in parliament, nothing is said about pala pala, explain pala pala. When it was Zuma, it was always nkandla, 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 pay back the money, pay back the money. It was drummed into our ears and our minds. When it's Ramaphosa, it's quiet. I think we love what's happening in South Africa. I remember when it was Red October, when the Afrikaners were protesting the murder of farm workers. They literally blocked roads and no one did anything to them. Yet you see videos on TikTok of protesters blocking the road and people in their bakkies are just trying to drive over them, removing their pallets because they're disturbing them. And then to come 2024, those very same people are going to be saying, yeah, the blacks, they are stupid. They keep voting for the same government. Guys, you can't vote the ANC out. The ANC didn't get voted in. Okay? Yes, they did to some extent, but before that, they terrorized South Africa. They damaged property. They blew things up. They made the country ungovernable. They were terrorists for the National Party and for white South Africans. They terrorized South Africa and they got into power. They did not negotiate with the National Party. They didn't beg and plead and say, please, guys, please stop. You see, democracy is a way of blinding society, that you have to be revolutionary. You have to take up arms. You have to fight the government. But the ANC know that we as South Africans aren't. We are going to rely so much on democracy. We are going to rely on this democratic process, which they don't even abide by. So we are begging, we are pleading with people who are terrorizing our livelihoods when they don't care. It doesn't make sense. It just does not make sense. That shutdown should have been all opposition parties combined. Once you've gotten the ANC out, ne, then we can have elections as to who can be running the country. But one thing is, we all want the ANC out. That's one thing we should have agreed upon. But that's just my thoughts.